And Education Foundation's Scholarship Celebration. I'm Nesta Matthews, who's going to be leading us through a little bit of a pre-show celebration. I'm joined by Alyssa Long, the director of our New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm so excited, Nesta. This is our 16th annual scholarship celebration since the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation was established in 2010. Each year it's got bigger, each year it's gotten better. We are welcoming the next generation of New Brunswick physicians and nurse practitioners tonight, each of whom have been awarded a return service scholarship, which provides much needed tuition relief, but also establishes a commitment from these students that once they are qualified and ready to practice and all done their studies, they're going to come back to New Brunswick and set up shop here caring for New Brunswick patients.
Yeah, so just to double down on that, they're getting a scholarship, and in exchange for that year of schooling being paid for, they're coming back here to work as a doctor or nurse practitioner.
That is exactly right. And we know that two of our biggest challenges in New Brunswick healthcare are workforce and primary care. So isn't it amazing that we have this model that supports solutions in both and helps us address it?
And honestly, it really opens it up to so many different students that maybe wouldn't have access to this. Because as much as we don't want to think that education in Canada is only for the elite and things, when you're looking at this many years of school, it starts to add up, and student loans still have to be paid back.
Exactly. When I first started with the foundation 3 years ago, I remember there was a report that came out from MD Financial Management that said the average amount of debt for a medical student in Canada was $80,000.
Oh.
And I remember thinking, that is insane. That's so expensive. And yet what we've seen from the students who write in and apply for scholarships since that time is it's going up, and it's going significantly up. The costs are, the tuition is rising, the cost of living is rising, and also we're seeing that students need more and more education before they get into medical school because it's such a competitive process.
That's exactly it. That's such a true point, and I never even thought about that. So you're looking for these students that have the time to put in the extracurriculars, that are going and building up the resumes to get in, and don't have maybe the time to be doing the jobs that are going to help them pay for the schooling they're trying to get.
Exactly. We have students who come in with master's degrees who've never had the opportunity to earn a salary. So it's debt, consecutive debt. And what we're able to do through the generosity of the donors, because they are the lifeblood of this foundation, through their support, we're able to relieve that financial pressure. And what the students tell us is that allows them to focus on their studies, which is so meaningful.
That's
right?
Wonderful. And you really look at it too, seeing a lot of students, because I know as a parent, as you mentioned, with the cost starting to go up and things, you don't want to detract your kids from looking at something like a future, like, oh, I want to be a doctor. But when you start thinking of all of those years adding up, just knowing as someone who lives in New Brunswick that not only is this path open to our kids, but how many kids are getting scholarships this year?
166 students, New Brunswick students, are receiving scholarships tonight. And what's so amazing is that this money, we are a private charity. So this money is coming from New Brunswickers, whether they're individuals or corporations who see that there's a need, not only with the students and the tuition relief, but they see there's a need in healthcare. So isn't it amazing that you can combine the two and donate to a cause that will help both? And it stays here. It's support that stays right here in New Brunswick.
What I find really funny is that it's the only province that seems to be doing anything like this.
That's true.
Can you tell me why? What was the brainchild between someone here in New Brunswick going, if we just help these kids pay for school, it might be easier? How did this all come about?
You often hear that expression, on the shoulders of giants, right? With this foundation, it's on the shoulder of one giant, one very amazing big giant. His name was Dr. Donald Craig. His name is Dr. Donald Craig. He's a physician from St. John, New Brunswick, who, approaching his own retirement after decades in practice, was becoming really concerned about the patients being left behind and what would happen to him when he moved on to a well-deserved, well-earned retirement of his own.
But where do you pass it along to?
Exactly. He didn't see that influx of young talent coming in. So he began to think of something different, right? A different model. How can we fill this gap? How can we meet this need? And so he decided, to bring a proposal where he said, what if rather than allocating all of these resources to bringing in physicians from outside the province or outside the country, what if we took some of those resources and invested them in the next generation of talent here in New Brunswick? So it was the return to service scholarship model. And the amazing thing is, you're right, nobody else is doing this across Canada that we found. And there's certainly not a private charity that's dedicated to enhancing access to healthcare and empowering that next generation. So that credit, that brainchild, that was all him. And we've been able to build on that. And tonight's celebration, being a record celebration, is just a tribute to how incredible that vision was.
Now, not to put you on the spot, but do you know, like, the first year that they came up with it, how many, was it like just one student being sent off and it's built from there, or?
I love it. I do. I have the trivia.
Oh, good. Okay.
So in 2010, the first year that the foundation was in existence, we awarded a total of $20,000 spread across 3 students. And that was it. And
that's amazing, though. At the time, it was probably like the absolute gift, somewhere out of nowhere.
Exactly.
And the fact that we've managed to progress all this way to being like, no, we will take care of a year of your schooling for you if you will give us a year of your life in the workforce.
That's right. Now, not all the scholarships are that much. We do have some full ride tuition scholarships, which is amazing. We never thought we'd get to that point. Imagine a scholarship for $25,000 per year. That's incredible. Especially when you think of just being the age
that you usually are as you're applying to like medical school. Like the amount of that amount of money would just be absolutely unheard of at that point in time. And just to have the faith and the support of knowing that your community believes in you and knows that you are going to come back and be of value.
It's so true. It takes a village to raise a doctor. That is what I've found. And you can apply that to nurse practitioners and allied health professionals. And we found that community integration, that feeling of being valued and accepted, that belonging that you have, that's one of the most important determinants of physician recruitment in Atlantic Canada, and particularly in New Brunswick. It's not about money. It's not about salaries. So we know that we have something that works, but it's going to take us as New Brunswickers coming together and working to keep these people here.
Well, and I think that's a big part of it too, because New Brunswickers, we like to stay close to our family. We do like to come back home. Like most people that you talk to, they know everyone on their street. They know their great aunt's friends. Their teachers know their parents. Like the community involvement, everybody's sort of tied together. So the fact that not only are you getting this opportunity that maybe you couldn't have financially done on your own, but you're being given the opportunity to come back home, to be close to your family afterwards and maybe set up a life here, and just like your parents did, like have your kids grow up with their cousins and all of that stuff that you kind of dream of sometimes. This helps make that happen and maybe get somebody a family doctor at the same time.
That's the dream, and you put that so beautifully. So thank you, Nesta. I think my time's up. I see we've got our next interviewee up, so I'll let you, or I'll step out.
Hey,
thank you.
Thank you so much. It's always so wonderful to talk about just what a great project it is here, and I mean just all the work that you do. So thank you. That's Alyssa Long, the director of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation board there. And now we're being joined by the chair of the Sackville Hospital Foundation and also the Mason Scholarship holder, Bill Evans. How are you doing, Mr. Evans?
Scholarship holder.
Oh, holder.
I'm doing very well. I'm really excited to be here. We're going to meet the successful recipients of the scholarships that we fund.
Now, have you had a chance with your hospital as well just to experience some of these students coming back home with the scholarships in hand?
Not yet. We awarded our first scholarship last year, and that was to a first-year student.
Okay.
But we changed things up a little bit, and you can hear me okay? My wife is telling me I wasn't speaking into the mic.
That's what the microphone's for. It makes you loud enough.
So it's third and fourth year students,
yep.
As well as a continuation of the one last year. So we're funding 4 scholarships this year. And I understand that even after they graduate from medical school, they've got a couple of years of residency. So it'll be a while. This is down the road.
You're planning for the future, long term.
Exactly.
Now, do you find that even now trying to recruit doctors in is tricky? I mean, is it one of those things that just the people there? Is it the budget? Is it all of the things combined?
It's a shortage of physicians, right?
Yeah.
It's not a problem in Sackville. It's not a problem in New Brunswick. It's not a problem just in Canada.
No.
It's everywhere. So it's and it's a zero-sum game unless we increase the talent pool. So we need more healthcare professionals, and so we're just doing what we can to make it attractive for them when they're ready to practice in a town which was hit pretty hard a few years ago when I think a total of 5 physicians and nurse practitioners left practicing medicine at the same time, and we
Wow.
had.
And that's probably, I mean, with 5, when you're looking in the scale of,
Well, we have the catchment area is about 10,000 people, and we had 3,000 orphan patients. Or
yeah.
orphan,
Wow.
yeah.
I see what you mean by that. Yeah, just looking
But
for.
Horizon is doing what they can to address this, and these family healthcare teams are just a wonderful development. So that the one that's opened in Sackville has attached 2,200 of those 3,000 patients in the last
fantastic.
2 years. So that's really good news. And they're not. I mean, talking to medical students, a lot of them don't want to be sole practitioners.
Yeah.
They want to join a team. They do their studies with a team. They don't want to be in business. They want to practice medicine. And so joining a team is a great way to do that. They can concentrate on what they're good at. And so I think this is a wonderful initiative. The family healthcare teams and recruiting physicians to populate those teams is what we're trying to do.
Now, have you found that this has been an effective thing as we're looking and seeing the amount of kids that are coming in this year? And I say kids, but I mean, these are young adults who've been really working hard to get to this point.
Yeah. We're too new at it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, the baseline is we were desperately short. We're priming the pump, and we hope within 3 years to get our first physician, and then we'll have sort of a pipeline of them coming. That's the plan.
Yep.
And I'm hopeful, but it's too soon to talk about results yet.
Well, of course. I mean, even as much as like no pressure on the shoulders of the students that are going in, but they still have to get through school. I mean, it's a long process.
Yeah, but these are exceptional, and I call them kids because they're a lot younger than I am, but they're very capable individuals, and there's been a fair amount of winnowing already. So if they're in 3rd, 4th year medical school, I think we're pretty confident that they will turn out all right. We want them to, when they come to Sackville, not just to practice medicine, but to join the community. And so one of the reasons I'm here is to put a face to that. And I think most people like to think they're appreciated.
Yeah.
Want to go where they're wanted.
Of course.
And, so it's a wonderful initiative. We only discovered the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation early last year. So, like I say, last year was our first scholarship. We did 1, and this year we're funding 4.
Nice. Wow. That is obviously a good step then in that case.
Well, and it's really good, and I should say this because the reason we're able to do this is because a very generous donor who was a friend of mine who died, but his foundation is funding this. So we were able to provide these very generous scholarships to 4 medical students because of Dr. Eric Ross's generosity. So I should give him a shout out.
Hey, the things that he believes in, they're carrying on, and that's why we're carrying on
right.
his legacy, reminding everyone.
Education and healthcare were his 2 big things. So scholarships for medical students nails it.
Well, and you mentioned too, like just the fact that a lot of these students that are coming in, that community being so strong with it. I mean, yeah, this is a career that I don't think a lot of people go into self-servingly.
Lightly. Oh, no,
Yeah,
and-
that too. Like, I mean, they're here because they want to help people. They want
Yeah.
to be part of that community. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that the more that you can integrate them and make them feel like they're coming back home
Yeah.
again too.
Well, they're people, and they have a life outside of practicing medicine, right? They
Maybe not during their residencies, but afterwards,
yeah.
I've heard it happens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's an endurance race, isn't it?
Now, for you personally, I mean, could you look at some physicians now and just imagine if you've been able to take the weight of student loan off their shoulders and the difference that would have made in their lives?
Sure, and the thing is, not everybody has the means to fund their own education.
No.
And so starting out in debt adds to the stress of the nature of the career, but also starting out on a career in debt is not a great way to do it. So if we can do this, I would think it's going to make them freer to come and practice medicine with a focus on that part of it. I mean, I've communicated with them in written form, and they certainly sound keen and in it for the right reasons. But we'll see. It's a tough
You're
job.
telling me a bunch of Type A students that not only want to go to medical school, but also are applying for top-line scholarships are a little bit committed?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, the people you're dealing with are exceptional.
Yes.
So it would be wonderful if we could extrapolate and find out that everybody was like this. But these are exceptional people, and we're delighted to help them in their career, and it's mutually beneficial.
It kind of is a very much a hand-in-hand process with it. Now, can you look at sort of like for the future, like, is there ever going to be a point you think that we would be like, that's a cap, we can't have any more, like that's the more medical students we can have in a year for the province, or?
Well, but the Horizon administrative people that I spoke to when we were setting this up, I said, what if we have that problem? What if we have to? And they didn't laugh, but they said, oh, that would be wonderful to have that kind of problem. The physicians who are still practicing in Sackville, a number of them are getting towards retirement age. This is going to be a continual process. And if we did recruit too many physicians for Sackville, that means there are physicians in New Brunswick. So that it's all good. I mean, I would love to have a problem like that.
Yeah. Oh no, we have too many doctors.
Yeah.
We'll have to send them to the smaller towns that don't ever get them as much.
That's right.
The nurse practitioners are in abundance this year.
Yeah.
Now, for any students that we're looking into, I mean, can you give us any insight on? I mean, we mentioned that these students are exceptional, but did you have a hand in the scholarship selection committee for yours?
No, not at all. No,
okay.
we fund it. The Medical Education Foundation does the selection. They have a committee that does that. And I've read the bios and I've communicated with the individuals, and they seem to be exceptional. But no, and I think that's the way it should be.
Agreed, yes.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you had any glimmers for any potential students that were looking in the future going, I could be looking at something like this.
You talked to Alyssa. The number of applicants, the number of scholarships awarded is getting close to the number of applicants. So we're moving in that direction, which is great. I mean, I just love the idea that we'll have lots of people, flooding to New Brunswick to practice medicine. Anyway.
All right.
Okay.
It sounds like we're going to be coming in with the next interviewee. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
No, pleasure. Always interesting and great as the 4 scholarships this year from our students. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
This is Kate Palmer.
Kate Palmer.
Hello.
And
Thank you.
That was Bill Evans, the chair of the Sackville Hospital Foundation. And now I'm being joined by Kat Palmer. Hi, Kat. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Come on in, grab a seat, get comfortable. The good news is they can only hear us. They can't see us.
Oh,
so
amazing.
There you go. So how does it feel being here tonight?
Super exciting. This is my second year here.
Yes.
So I'm thrilled. I'm honored, really thankful to be here.
Now, how is school going? You are one of our students, so
Yes.
tell us a bit about what is medical school and going to school for all of this. Is it like the TV shows? Is it all inclusive? Is it absolutely exhausting, or?
A little bit of everything, I would say. It's good. It's a lot of fun. Our class is so supportive. We have a small little class of 40 people, so couldn't ask for more there. But it's got its exhausting parts, but worth it in the end, right? It's a lot of work, but I would be scared if it wasn't. So yeah, can't complain.
Are you looking ahead for long-term goals or things like where you'd hoping to end up with the plan to come back, or is that still very much up in the air for you?
Kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
I certainly want to end up back here, but kind of
Where
in between
that
with
is,
residency. Yeah. Exactly. And you never know where you're going to be placed for residency and everything. So, that part is kind of murky, but
I
I'll be
will
back
admit,
here.
it is one of my favorite days on the internet when you see the days where everyone is getting their residency selected. I have literally no hold in it at all, but just seeing all of these people so excited for getting their picks and things, it's just, I don't know, it gives me faith for humanity when I see it. So I'll be very excited to see your posts when they eventually show up.
Thank you.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about what the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation means to you and the difference it might have made with you for looking at your future and career?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know that medical school is an immense expense. It's really, really difficult. We all are here for the same reasons. We want to help people. We want to be doctors. But that barrier can be significant for a lot of us. I know for myself, I came right out of my undergrad. So that was a huge expense too. So the NB Medical Education Foundation has totally changed the trajectory, I think, of my med school career. It's allowed me to focus a lot more on my studies and be able to be involved and not take on an extra job or anything to help pay for school. So it's amazing. And there's so many
doctors or students, I guess future doctors who have pledged now to stay in New Brunswick. So it's amazing. It's really looking up for the province.
It really is. I mean, to look at 166 students this year, which is just an
Wow.
amazing thing to say with the doctors and nurse practitioners of the future. And I mean, it is a weird thing too. I mean, for you being here, do you actually have a family doctor?
I do. I'm one of the lucky ones.
I know
but
it's one of those
so many
questions that when
don't.
you say it, you almost feel bad being like, I do actually have
I know.
one.
Honestly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when people are coming new to the city, and that's like the first thing that everybody asks, like, how do you get one? It's like, well, you got to get on the list, and then you wait, and then I've been on the list for 8 months, for a year, for 18 months, and it's like it's
Mind-blowing.
coming. We are trying to fix the problem, and we're trying to do it with something here tonight. Now, how do you have any other classmates that have also been able to ride in with the scholarship recipients?
Oh yeah, a ton.
Really?
Like, yeah, I think more than half of
Of
my
your class
my
of 40.
class. Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's
every year it's
literally-
going up and up, right? So there's more students supported every year. So
Very
it's amazing.
cool. I mean, it's one thing to come here and we talk about it, but just to be able to, it's see the results of the classroom and be like, no, we've got half a group of people, all of them not taking on secondary jobs and learning how to work the cash register. They're learning how to take care of human beings.
Yes.
Focusing on that.
Yeah.
That seems like a really good and important thing to focus on.
I mean, I think so. I hope so. Yeah.
Now, do you have any hopes or at this point, or have you been thinking of any specialties or family medicine or anything, or is it still very much up in the air for you?
I mean, it's always going to be up in the air until it really happens, but I love pediatrics. My scholarship that I actually received is in honor of a pediatrician who
Really?
used to practice here in St. John. So maybe pediatrics, maybe family medicine. We'll see.
That would be amazing. Always looking for more in that
course.
case. Now, we were talking a little bit before about what possibly could help future students that are maybe hoping to get in on the scholarship. So, did you have like a ton of extracurriculars? Were you just a diehard in your undergrad and you go out in the grades? What do you think really helped you shine and maybe get access to the scholarship?
I mean, my biggest piece of advice is doing things that you really are passionate about and that, you do for like a longer period of time. Like, I think there's nothing that I would say I did just for like scholarship
Oh, of course not.
applications
No.
or-
But we're just saying
you know
the
what I mean?
well-rounded
But-
studentness of it.
Yeah,
Were you
yeah.
doing all the things? Were you
Yeah.
the sports kid and the top A grade A's kid and all of the things?
I mean, I think I tried to be really well-rounded and do a bit of everything, but I just like found my passions and I really stuck to them. And I think I put my all into what I really, really liked. And I think that's my biggest tip for people. It's not necessarily the number of things you do. It's like the impact of what you do with those endeavors, I guess.
It's a very powerful way of looking at it. Thank
you.
you so much for joining us and telling us a little bit about the journey to get here. We're going to bring on another former recipient as well, and now working as a doctor. Thank you so much. With Dr. Sam Palmer here.
Thank you. My brother.
Yeah, great job, sis.
The trade-off.
Yeah, that's it.
How are you
Fine,
doing
that's it.
today?
Very well, and yourself?
Oh, very good.
Good,
So you've
yeah.
gone all the way from being a scholarship recipient to actually being on the board of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation.
Yeah, life comes at you fast.
Isn't that funny though?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but you're somebody who's been able to go through it from like literally step one to like the final step here. So what is it like knowing the whole process?
Yeah, it's first of all, it's quite an honor to be on the board. I think everyone knows the impact the foundation has, but as a recipient, I feel like I maybe have a unique perspective, a unique appreciation for it. It's we have a lot of different kinds of burdens going through med school. We don't get to spend as much time as we'd like with loved ones, long hours, financial burden, and to have one of the bigger ones covered is huge. There's no substitute for it. So I think all of our board members are excellent and passionate. And I like to think as a former recipient, I kind of contribute something in that way.
I feel like that's probably why they have you on there, most likely.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I like to think so. Yeah.
Well, and we were talking to just with a few of the other members here, just about the fact that it really does kind of level the playing field for students going in. Like instead of being like, I don't know if I can afford to devote that kind of time to it, it sort of says, I have that opportunity open to me now.
Yeah, totally. It's one of those things where for some people, med school is not even sort of something that's in the cards because of their, whatever it may be, their upbringing, their family situation, socioeconomic status. And, how unfortunate would that be? Someone who grows up, they know they want to be a doctor, the passion's there, there's never been a bigger need, but there's just a financial barrier. And to know that is not necessarily not there, but it's alleviated greatly, is huge. It just opens doors that weren't there before. I can tell you, for me, knowing that I'll be going into practice in 8 months from now, which is crazy to say, it doesn't feel real.
It's like weird.
It is weird. But knowing that I'll be going into practice with, tens of thousands less of debt is totally game changing. It allows me to get it'll allow me to get my life started
You can
quicker.
plan for it. Yeah, it's not like looking at these crippling monthly payments of, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally. It it allows me to start saving more for a house and things like that. I'm getting married next
Actually
year.
be part of the community. Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, So it's so much more than just the financial side. By leaving the financial side, it opens up everything else. Really.
Well, I also think there's value in the fact that as much as we're like making it a deal, like we'll help you out with tuition and you come back here. I think with a lot of New Brunswick students, especially, we want to come back home. We want to be close to our family.
For sure.
It's like, oh no, twist my arm and make me come back here and promise me a job.
Absolutely. By and large, I think we tend to gravitate back home anyway. Can't speak for everyone. I know I certainly do.
There's a lot, and it's very Atlantic Canadian in us.
Yeah.
We like to be close to our people.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, exactly. I recently, as a board member, I'm recently starting my term as chair of the alumni committee. So, big part of it is bringing together alumni, like current recipients and people like me who've previously received scholarships. But another sort of more unfortunate piece of it is we once in a while have to track down the people who kind of committed to New Brunswick via the scholarship, but they kind of took off. And luckily, they're few and far between. They're rare cases. By and large, everyone commits to it because this is where they want to be.
And you feel like the few times you're like, okay, that was an amazing opportunity. We can figure out where that went. Like sometimes you can have talks about it later.
Rare exceptions, yeah. But luckily, we don't need to do it often.
No.
And I think that's a testament to the foundation and just our province as a whole.
And also the people that they're picking as scholarship recipients.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're looking at folks like you that want to come back here and that are looking for that sense of community and that want to give back.
Totally, yeah. I think we have an amazing group of scholarship recipients. I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of them and their passion, not just for medicine and for New Brunswick, but for people and just like humanity. It's really gratifying to see.
No, it's been spectacular to see. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been our sort of pre-game show set up with the Medical Education Scholarship Foundation Gala. Dr. Sam Palmer, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Nesta.
I'm Nesta Matthews, who has been hosting for this lovely pre-celebration setup. Thank you for joining us for the live stream today.
I think we're good. I just realized you held it a lot close. Hopefully they could hear. I had it kind of down here.
The boards, I think.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh. Can't hear? Yeah? Can you hear me now? No? No? Hello? 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 There we go. Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Guests, would you please rise and join me in welcoming the Honorable Louise Imbeau, lieutenant-gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick. Veuillez s'il vous plaît vous lever et vous joindre à moi pour accueillir l'honorable Louise Imbeau, lieutenant-gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick. Good evening and welcome to the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation's 2025 Scholarship Celebration. You can sit down. This is a very disciplined crowd. The silence was impeccable. We're so excited that you are here this evening. Before we begin, we respectfully acknowledge that the evening's event is taking place in the city of St. John, Menequesque, which is situated on the traditional territory of Wolastoqey Maliseet people. Les Wolastoqey, ainsi que leurs voisins autochtones, les Mi'kmaq et les Passamaquoddy, ont signé au 18e siècle des traités de paix et d'amitié avec la couronne britannique qui protégeait leurs droits sur les terres et leurs ressources. New Brunswick is situated on the unceded and unsurrendered territories of the Wolastoqey, Mi'kmaq, and Passamaquoddy peoples. We seek to repair and rebuild meaningful relationships with Indigenous people and honor these lands which hold the hopes of future generations. Je m'appelle Nicole Leblanc. Je suis pédiatre. I'm coming to you this year with a new title. Je suis maintenant la doyenne associée en Atlantique francophone pour la Faculté de médecine et des sciences de la santé de l'Université de Sherbrooke, doyenne associée de l'Université de Moncton, ainsi que la nouvelle directrice du Centre de formation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick. It is my great pleasure to join you all as tonight's Master of Ceremonies. Bienvenue particulier à nos participants inscrits à nos 2 programmes de formation médicale au Nouveau-Brunswick. Une belle soirée nous attend. Let me now also introduce our hosts. Will the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation's Board of Directors and staff members please stand? Je vous invite à vous lever. Directors in attendance, Dr. Rob Fisher, David Husis, Don Mitchner, Dr. Sam Palmer, Dr. Michael Simon, and myself. Directors that were unable to attend this evening, Michael Doyle, Dr. Jennifer Hall, Nora Kelly, Ed Keys, Nora Mallory, Bob Manning, Dr. Jim O'Brien, Nick Sell, and Dorothy Shepard. We also have our amazing staff. Alyssa Long, Executive Director, Natalie Boyce, Student and Alumni Relations, and David Ryan, Fundraising Manager. Thank you very much. Merci. Before we get underway, I have a few housekeeping notes to share. First, please take a moment to locate the nearest exits in case of an emergency. A lot of doctors in the room, but we're not all on call. You will also notice a camera crew that's present here this evening. This event is being live streamed to the Foundation's Facebook and YouTube pages. This is part of the initiative to ensure tonight's ceremony is as accessible to as many New Brunswickers as possible. Thank you, all of you, for being here to celebrate an exceptional cohort of future healthcare providers. Aucune des activités de ce soir ne serait possible sans nos grands donateurs, généreux comme toujours, dont beaucoup sont présents ici ce soir. Your generosity has provided so many of these students with the confidence, motivation, and financial security to pursue their dreams and make a difference in the lives of others. And now, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Louis Zimbaud, Lieutenant-Gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick, to deliver tonight's official welcome.
Merci beaucoup, Dr. Leblanc. Dear friends, chers amis, bonsoir, good evening, koe. Je suis ravie d'être parmi vous pour ce gala de remise de bourse d'études de la Fondation d'éducation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick. I'm delighted to join you for the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation's 2025 Scholarship Gala. In New Brunswick and throughout Canada, healthcare is a fundamental right. Many of us take great pride in the fact that New Brunswickers of all backgrounds and of all incomes have access to universal health care. Our healthcare system is not perfect, but the doctors, nurses, support staff, and administrators who treat New Brunswickers are community pillars who provide the best possible care to their patients. It is important for the medical professionals to reflect our communities, to know what it's like to live in a rural Francophone village, to live in an Indigenous community, or to live in a bustling multicultural background neighborhood in one of our large cities. Si les Néo-Brunswickois et les Néo-Brunswickoises de tous horizons méritent d'avoir accès aux services médicaux dont ils ont besoin, les professionnels des soins de la santé devraient aussi refléter la diversité de notre province. J'espère que ces bourses vont encourager les futurs médecins issus de communautés sous-représentées à s'établir et à rester ici. Les réalités en milieu rural francophone, dans les communautés autochtones ou dans les quartiers urbains multiculturels sont bien différentes les unes des autres. En diversifiant la cohorte de médecins, en intégrant leurs perspectives et leur expérience de vie, les citoyens et les citoyennes recevront des soins mieux adaptés à leurs besoins particuliers. Dans le contexte actuel de pénurie de médecins, nous devons éliminer les obstacles qui s'imposent devant les Néo-Brunswickois de naissance et les Néo-Brunswickois d'adoption qui choisissent de s'installer ici. Je suis reconnaissante envers le personnel de la Fondation d'éducation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick, ainsi que tous les généreux donateurs qui permettent aux étudiants en médecine, aux étudiants et étudiantes en médecine de poursuivre leurs rêves et d'atteindre leurs objectifs. Medicine should not be reserved to those who have the financial means to undertake these studies. I hope that young New Brunswickers from underrepresented communities are inspired by this initiative to pursue their own career in the medical field. It's much easier to retain physicians who have established connections and a sense of belonging to the region in which they work. As we navigate the shortage of healthcare professionals, I'm grateful towards the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation and generous donors who are investing in New Brunswick by recruiting our future community health workers. À tous les futurs médecins en l'honneur ce soir, je vous souhaite de bonnes études et j'espère vous revoir ici au Nouveau-Brunswick. To all future doctors being honored today, I assure you that you have a significant impact on the well-being and the quality of life of New Brunswickers. I wish you all the best in the completion of your studies. Thank you for your commitment to practicing medicine in New Brunswick. Thank you. Merci. Willalin. Bonne soirée.
Tonight would not be possible without our generous sponsors. DP World, AstraZeneca, TD Bank, Acadia Broadcasting, Envision St. John, Wells Private Wealth Management, Stuart McKelvey, and Emerge. As our ceremony sponsors this evening, I would like you to welcome the representative of DP World to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to join you tonight and to follow Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor of New Brunswick, in welcoming you all to this celebration. On behalf of DP World, I want to thank the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation for the opportunity to be part of such an important evening. Most of all, tonight is about you, the scholarship recipients that we are here to celebrate. You represent the future of healthcare in this province. We all know that becoming a physician requires years of commitment, resilience, and sacrifice, and these scholarships are designed to ease that path. These awards are about more than financial support. They represent a promise, a return of service commitment that ensures that your talents will come back to New Brunswick. This means stronger communities, more accessible care, and a healthier future for the families right here at home. At DP World, we believe in making trade flow to change what's possible for everyone. That purpose extends beyond our ports and our logistics companies to the people who make our communities thrive. Two of our global sustainability pillars, health and education, connect directly to the work of this foundation. By investing in the medical students, we are addressing one of the most pressing challenges we face in New Brunswick, the need for more doctors. By building pathways to education and linking them to service in the province, this program strengthens both healthcare systems and community well-being. This is sustainability in action, helping to ensure that opportunities for learning translate into healthier lives for New Brunswickers. Our community investment strategy is rooted in partnerships. We focus our support where it creates lasting impact, whether that is helping young people across education and access education, supporting healthcare initiatives, or backing local organisations that strengthen the communities. That is why DP World is very proud to support the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. We recognise that no one company, government, or organisation can meet society's needs alone, but together we can create change that lasts. To tonight's scholarship recipients, congratulations. Your achievements inspire confidence in the future of medicine and the future of this province. To the Foundation, thank you for building such an innovative model to grow and retain medical talent in New Brunswick. And to everyone else here tonight, thank you all for investing in the next generation of doctors. Your commitment is not just to education or healthcare, but to the long-term strength and vitality of communities across this province. Together, we are building a healthier, brighter future. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. So true that together we can make change last. I would now like to invite to the stage Dr. Michael Simon, co-chair of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful night, another year under our belts for the foundation that we're extremely, extremely excited about, and when the direction we're going, we're extremely excited about. My name is Dr. Michael Simon. I have the pleasure of being one of the co-chairs on the board of directors for the foundation, and I have the pleasure of serving with Dorothy Shepard, who unfortunately couldn't be here. But Dorothy, having a significant amount of experience in healthcare in our province, in social work in our province, couldn't let the evening go by without making sure that I said, congratulations to all you future doctors, and thank you to all the donors and families and friends who have supported these future doctors on their long journey. So if Dorothy checks on me, will you please tell her that I said that, because she'll be very upset with me. Before we dive into tonight's proceedings, I'd like to share a few thoughts with you related to our mission and vision, the Foundation's mission and vision. As a New Brunswick family physician for over 35 years, I've witnessed firsthand the challenges that both patients and doctors have when trying to navigate our current healthcare system. And they're tough challenges. They're very intimidating on both sides of the fence, or on both sides of the gurney. There are, according to latest statistics, 180,000 plus New Brunswickers who don't have a primary care physicians. So again, some may be in this room, some may be in the same families or friends, but put yourself in those shoes. When you get sick, when a family member gets sick, who do you call? How do you access help? What avenues are open to you? You don't have a family doctor you can call for an acute illness, no trusted health professional to monitor your chronic conditions or refill prescriptions, and no end to the angst you may experience waiting for help when you need it. Over the course of my career, I've tended to a large practice. I've had up to 3,000 patients, and I've been honored to become, for many of them, their trusted friend and advisor. However, as I edge towards retirement, 35 plus years is a long time, I was getting a sort of an unsettling fear in my gut. What was going to happen to my patients? At the same time, I was slowing down. I had 3 colleagues who retired and couldn't find anybody. So those patients, unfortunately, no longer have a family doc, and their access to care is somewhat limited, as many of you know. So I wondered about who's going to take care of my patients, who's going to take care of the families I took care of, the newborns, the seniors. I was slowing down over the last couple of years, and yet every day I was being asked to accept new patients. And then why wouldn't I be asked like any other doctor? There are 180,000 people like you out there looking for somebody. So it's an ongoing problem. It wasn't getting any better. Lucky for me, I stayed around long enough, I get a nice young doctor who was willing to come into my practice. He's a West Sider, although I didn't hold that against him, I still took him in. And so he was very eager to start a practice in St. John. And he's been with me for a couple of years, he's learning how it runs, and I feel so much better knowing my patients will not be left orphaned when I decide to take down my shingle. So that's a victory. And should I mention, he's also a successful medical graduate of this foundation. And he received bursaries, and he decided to stay because of those bursaries, and now my patients are being taken care of. So, and just to jump forward, providing timely and quality care is difficult. It's difficult for the physicians. It's difficult for the patients who need care, as I mentioned. And despite increased spending in healthcare in our province, the share of issues that we have had and do have haven't really changed. Most people in this room, as I mentioned, know somebody who's struggling to get care, a family member or a friend. And when you take that demand, which is growing and growing because our population is growing, as we just talked about a little while ago, and then you combine it with the fact that the average age for the doctor in New Brunswick currently is 49 years old. So for the next 10, 15 years, you will have a max exodus. And that means the demand is getting bigger, supply is going to be pinched that much more, that doesn't lead to a favorable outcome. So those are the struggles and the challenges that we face right now. Okay, I've said it. That's the bad news. But we're not here to celebrate bad news. In fact, we're here to celebrate the good news because we have a solution. The foundation has become a wonderful solution to this problem. And we're here to support this group. As I mentioned before, the three amigos who run the foundation. And thanks to them, thanks to the donors, we have been making changes. In fact, since 2010, the Medical Education Foundation has defined a strategy that keeps young doctors practicing in this province. It's resulted in better care for our patients, better access for our patients. Since 2010, we have offered return-to-service bursaries that have kept the graduates here. We've kept them practicing in the province. And I'm talking about world-class medical and allied health professionals putting down roots, serving New Brunswick's medical needs and its population. It's a unique, made-in-New Brunswick model that has been replicated nowhere else in this country and is the best recruiting tool I have ever seen in almost 4 decades. And the numbers, Alyssa will probably talk about it later, the numbers will support that boast on my part. Today we're celebrating a record 166 recipients. That adds up to a staggering $1.4 million in tuition relief. So please help me in thanking the donors and thanking the foundation for 166 bursaries. On the front lines, if you ask me what that translates into, that's 170 years of medical service that the province and the people of the province can tap into. Just imagine those extra hours of care that people can take a piece of. All those orphaned and unattached patients that we get family doctors. I mean, the numbers will keep going up. And this story, as I mentioned, can only be told because of you, the donors and supporters. Otherwise, this place would not exist. The success we're seeing would not happen. In the long run, what you're doing not only saves money because we're keeping people here before they get, treating people before they get sick, but it saves lives. In order to have good medicine, you've got to have enough medicine. If you think about that for a second, it makes sense. So the foundation's working hard to achieve that goal. And I mentioned Dr. Gadet, thank goodness, is one success story that's going to help me and my patients. Oh, I should mention, too, the building where I work now contains not only Dr. Gadet, but Dr. Robert Hamlin, Dr. Benjamin Knight, Dr. Taryn O'Neill, all graduates of the foundation, all practicing in St. John, all have their new practices with a cadre or a group of patients in the hundreds and thousands. I'll just finish off by saying this is a unique solution. The foundation is offering something that no other organization in the country has copied or been successful at. We're keeping students here to practice in this province. It's a system that lets everybody win. Our future doctors, our patients, our donors, and our communities. And as you just heard, it means a great deal to existing physicians to know that patients in practices like mine will be in good hands. The number of alumni in this education foundation grows larger every year. And just to the students, not long ago, they were like you. They were working hard to get through the courses, get through their classes, get through their exams. They were under the same pressures and stresses, but now they're the next generation of medical professionals serving the community. And that's only a few years away, not to intimidate you. The success of the foundation is reflected in the retention recruitment numbers that Alyssa will reflect on later. The financial relief generated by donors and patrons has supported future providers for years going forward now. It's our goal in the hopefully not too distant future to be able to give a scholarship to every single medical student that applies, every single one. Can you imagine what that'll do to the list of unattached patients or the difficulty you have trying to get in to see a doctor? It'll turn that right on its head. So I'd like to conclude by, again, thanking everyone for coming, for congratulating all the students on their awards. And I just can't say enough to all the donors. I'm looking at some of them right there for all the work that they've done. So please don't stop, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Could go off script a little bit, Alyssa. Oh, it doesn't make you too nervous. Comme je vous disais tout à l'heure, dans mon nouveau rôle, j'ai le privilège d'être entourée des personnes étudiantes à tous les jours. Puis, c'est leur sourire, leur enthousiasme, leur motivation qui me donne un renouveau de fierté de pourquoi je suis allée en médecine. So I would ask all of the medical students to please rise so that we can give you guys a great round of applause before we start. We have the best of the best here in New Brunswick. So as previous speakers have noted, we have a record number of scholarships to award tonight. Afin d'éviter les embouteillages, je vous invite à suivre un peu les directives qui s'en viennent. As we move into the awards portion of the evening, will Dr. Simon please join me on stage to greet each recipient? Students, when your name is called, please make your way to the stage. Chaque étudiant, s'il est présent, est invité de monter sur scène pour recevoir son prix. After receiving your prize, please make your way to the donor's corner to greet your donor of your award if they are present and to have a picture taken. I also invite the scholarship owners, the donors, or representative of each scholarship fund, if you are present, to make your way to the donor corner as your award is being called to congratulate this year's extraordinary recipients. You guys ready? All right, let's begin. A&R Fund for Future Nurse Practitioners Scholarship, Lisa Boudreau de Moncton. A&R Fund for Future Physicians Scholarship, Andrew Smith, St. Stephen's. Dan Smith, Moncton. AstraZeneca Medical Scholarship, John Go, Fredericton. I'm maybe going to ask that we save the applause for the end. Bell Alliant Medical Education Scholarship in memory of Dr. David Craig, Connor Simon, St. John. Burton W. Eustis Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Samuel Mega, St. Stephen's, Samuel. Bud and Rita Craig and Doctors Ron, Don, David, Brian Medical Education Bursary, Julia Pappas, Rothsay. Central York, I hope I'm saying the names okay. I apologize if I don't pronounce them totally the way I heard a little bit of a murmur there. Central York Rural Community Medical Education Scholarship, Chris Lewis, Moncton. City of Bathurst Medical Education Scholarship, Pascal Claude Roussel, Saint-Isidore. Raphaël Fournier, Bathurst. City of Dieppe Medical Education Scholarship, Catalina Sek, Dieppe. City of Fredericton Medical Education Scholarship, Swati Jayachandran from Fredericton and Tia Rakosi from Fredericton as well. College of Physicians and Surgeons Medical Education Scholarship, Amelia Mazerol, Lausier Settlement, Cameron Crowell, Rothsay, Caroline Ouellette, Moncton, Dustin McGee, Willow Grove. Mila Veljanowska, St. John, Nick Rushton, Fredericton, Sheridan Hamilton, Fredericton, Valérie Boisvert, Shediac. CPKC Medical Education Scholarship, Sarah Shepard, St. Stephen. David and Faye Hustis Scholarship, Whitney Shannon, Miramichi. DJ Wilson Family Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Abby Alexander from Rothsay, and Chloé Alexandra Albert de Caraquette. Don and Jane Mitchner Medical Education Scholarship, Sam Arsenault, Dieppe. Dr. D. Norman Gary Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Kate Palmer, Rothsay. Dr. Donald A. Craig Medical Education Bursary, Kendra Ebert, Garnet Settlement. Dr. Eric Ross Foundation Advanced Medical Education Scholarship, Madeline Power, Moncton. Dr. Eric Ross Foundation Intermediate Medical Education Scholarship, Emily Vale, Sussex, and Morgan Nesbitt, St. John. Dr. Frank and Audrey Wanamaker Medical Scholarship, Andrew Luker, Fredericton. Dr. G. William McQuaid Memorial Scholarship, Cameron Keys, Rothsay. Dr. Gillis and Dr. Williams Medical Education Bursary, Amy Dodge from Moncton. Dr. H. Miller McSween Memorial Advanced Medical Education Scholarship, Connor O'Brien, Fredericton. Dr. Enrique and Wanda Toning Medical Scholarship, Emily Ritchie from Fredericton. Dr. Isaac Kaler Farrer Advanced Medical Education Scholarship, Cameron Crowell from Rothsay. Dr. Paul and Gail Sohi and Family Medical Education Scholarship, Michael Conley from Rothsay. Dr. Richard V. Snow Medical Education Bursary, Lauren Ashfield from Rothsay. Dr. Sorab Luchmed Medial Legacy Scholarship, Melissa Laplante de Dieppe. Envision St. John Medical Education Bursary, Dustin McKee, Willow Grove, and Matt Douglas, Rothsay. Exhibition Association of the City and County of St. John, Madison Bell, Grand Bay, Westfield. Faye and David Hustis Family Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Charlie Kavanaugh from St. John. Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Corinne Brideau, Dieppe. Feng Li, Fredericton. And Grace Lafferty, Moncton. Future nurse practitioners of the New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Bridget McKnight, Fredericton. Emily Ritchie, Fredericton. Faith Abarico, Fredericton. Ty Gormley, Shediac. Vicky Parmarsh, Gagetown. Future Physicians of New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Abigail Purchase, Wasis, Charles Aimant, Moncton, Eve Justassen, Fredericton, Francis Winters, Moncton, and Geneviève Como, Nigadou. I think we're just going to take a moment and applaud these. And as I see they're taking a little bit of time to show all those beautiful smiles, some of the students that can't be here tonight, it's not necessarily that they don't want to be here, but most of them are either studying or working, doing their clerkship rotations. So a little hello to the students that are on the floors and doing what they're meant to do. So Grand Falls Community Medical Education Scholarship, Patricia Kennedy, Fredericton. Greater Miramichi Medical Education Scholarship, Jaden Ma, Miramichi. Greater St. John Community Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Meredith Elisiu, Quispamsis. Hatchet and Nicholas Medical Education Scholarship, Heather Leach, Moncton. Horizon Health Network Medical Education Scholarship, Aris Saheb, Moncton. Danielle Joyce, Fredericton. Hotspot Parking Medical Education Scholarship, Zoe Simon, Greenfield. John and Jillian Wallace Medical Education Scholarship, Sebastian Hubbard, St. John, Sebastian Hubbard, St. John. Ken and Holly Singh, Tandy Medical Education Scholarship, Brooke Streeter from Rothsay. The Corey Family Medical Education Scholarship, Emily Ryston, Bathurst. Knights of Columbus Medical Education Scholarship, Andrew Luiker, Fredericton. The Laura Hayward Medical Education Scholarship, Andrew Luiker, Fredericton. Lockhart Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Aisha Blanchard, Bocaraquette. Mais Family Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Emma DeLong, Quispamsis. Margaret and Wallace McCain Early Childhood Development Fund, Julia Bent, Miramichi. The New Brunswick Medical Society Scholarship, Lina Alquadi, Moncton, and Sarah Boyd, Hanwell. The New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation Scholarship, Chantel McCracken, Grove Hill. The New Brunswick Scholarship Education Fund for Emerging Physicians, Adam Beckett from St. John. Andrea Pena from Andrea Pena de Grand Barachois. André Cormier de Dieppe. Et Katarina Levski de Campbellton. Oromocto Medical Education Scholarship, Lauren Casey from Fredericton. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the Grand Falls Municipal Medical Education Scholarship, which the foundation was not able to award this year. This award is intended for a medical student planning to practice in the Grand Falls region following graduation. Nous espérons avoir un bénéficiaire l'année prochaine. So that concludes the first half of this evening's scholarship presentation, representing more than $600,000 in tuition relief. Let's have another round of applause for these wonderful recipients. We'll take a short break now to hear from one of our 2025 recipients. Please welcome to the stage AstraZeneca, our first presenting sponsor, to introduce our first student speaker. Danielle. Who said that the names weren't complicated, I just had to remember his last name, Fougère.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Nicole. It's a pleasure to be here again on behalf of AstraZeneca this year. This is a program that we take tremendous pride in at AstraZeneca. It's one of these initiatives we get a chance sometimes to support initiatives in the community, and we always hope that they're going to grow and be sustainable over time. And this is probably one of the best examples that we have of a project that we supported over 15 years ago. So credit to the founders of this program, Dr. Craig and Dr. Marr, and to the NB Medical Education Foundation for all the work and the growth that's kind of happened over the years. It's quite amazing. Also wanted to take just a quick second just to recognize some of my counterparts that have worked on this years ago. We've had a lot of different players at AstraZeneca over the years, and one of them unfortunately passed away this year, Martin McNeil. And Martin was a big part of AstraZeneca being able to contribute the initial donor award and supported it year after year after that while he worked with us for over 20 years. So I just wanted to recognize Martin here tonight as he passed away a couple of months ago, sadly. But also while I'm up here, I want to say big congrats to the students. What a nice evening for you. I've got kids that are around your age now. I have kids in my community that are benefiting from this award. And this young man, I don't know personally, but I've seen in the community. I think last year the reward recipient lived in a community I'd never heard of. So I think this year they gave me one in Dieppe because that's where I live. So it made it easy for me. And I think they wanted to point out how maybe I didn't kind of pan out as good as I could have been, because this young man kind of seems a bit like me. So he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology, just like I did. I decided not to pursue physiotherapy school. He's decided to go into medical school, so he's in first year now. I've always played hockey all my life. I've coached and so on and so forth, but this person decided to one-up me again and play professional hockey for a number of years. And I also took pride in looking after and taking care and spending time with my grandparents when I was younger. But he's again gone above and beyond and beat me there too, and has volunteered in nursing homes in the communities, and is decided to give back and join medical school and make an impact in his community. And he's got a great quote here that speaks to his commitment to coming back to his communities, but I'm almost afraid that in his video here he's going to repeat it, so I don't want to be repetitive. So congratulations to Alexis Dubé. I think we've got a video queued for him that because he wasn't able to join us, and big congrats to everybody here again tonight.
Salut tout le monde, je m'appelle Alexis Dubé, étudiant en première année en médecine à l'Université de Sherbrooke. Je suis extrêmement reconnaissant d'avoir l'opportunité aujourd'hui de parler un petit peu de mon parcours, vous donner une meilleure vue d'ensemble de qui je suis comme personne. Mais avant tout, j'aimerais prendre un moment pour remercier la Fondation d'éducation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick, qui, entre autres, m'a donné un soutien financier dans la dernière année qui me permet d'être vraiment une éponge. Donc, capter le plus d'informations possible, avoir le plus d'exposition clinique possible, puis vraiment apprendre davantage de mon expérience d'études en tant qu'étudiant en médecine pour un jour être le meilleur médecin possible. Aussi, le soutien financier obtenu de la part de la Fondation me permet de redonner à ma communauté par le biais de bénévolat, ce qui ne serait peut-être pas possible sans cette belle opportunité. Donc, c'est quelque chose que je suis extrêmement reconnaissant envers. Un petit peu sur moi-même, je suis originaire d'une petite ville au nord de la province nommée Saint-Quentin, où le sentiment d'appartenance, bien-être collectif et de communauté ont toujours été des valeurs importantes pour moi et ma famille. Puis je pense aussi que c'est des valeurs que nous partageons en tant que province. Je pense que nous sommes fiers de dire que nous sommes des Nouveaux-Brunswickois bilingues. De mon côté, je suis aussi fier de dire que je suis un Acadien qui a l'opportunité de poursuivre ses études médicales dans sa langue maternelle, le français. Puis c'est ce sentiment d'appartenance-là, puis de bien-être collectif qui fait entre autres que j'aimerais avoir la chance d'un jour pratiquer la médecine au Nouveau-Brunswick. Donc, redonner à ma communauté, faire en sorte que on a un bien-être collectif, on a une meilleure santé en donnant des soins de santé qui sont accessibles, qui sont inclusifs, puis qui sont axés sur le bien-être des patients. Donc, entre autres, c'est un petit peu ce sentiment-là d'appartenance qui fait qu'un jour, j'aimerais avoir l'opportunité de travailler avec ma population, ma communauté. Un petit peu sur moi-même, je suis gradué l'an dernier du baccalauréat en kinésiologie à l'Université de Moncton. Étant un hockeyeur de longue date, j'ai aussi pris part à l'école de la vie que j'appelle les sports. Ça m'a permis de développer mes compétences interpersonnelles, sociales, avoir une idée de l'autonomie, la discipline, plein de qualités comme ça. Et puis à l'époque, j'étais pas nécessairement certain de quoi ça allait me donner. Je vous mentirais si je vous dirais que la médecine, pour moi, a toujours été le but ultime. Ça a plutôt été quelque chose qui a été acquis par les années, par le bien d'expérience, avec beaucoup de réflexion. Et puis, au début de mon parcours, j'ai toujours été un petit peu inspiré par la physiologie humaine, le bien-être physique, comment est-ce qu'on pouvait prévenir des maladies chroniques par le bien d'exercice physique. Puis c'est encore quelque chose qui m'a à cœur. Mais je vous dirais que j'ai vraiment développé le sentiment de vouloir poursuivre mes études en médecine après avoir été exposé au système de la santé. Donc, quelques années passées, ma mère a été gravement malade. Puis, malheureusement, c'était une période difficile. Mais après avoir fait réflexion, j'ai été marqué de façon positive par certains médecins, par certains professionnels de la santé, qui m'ont, entre autres, permis de voir que le rôle de médecin va au-delà de traiter une condition, va au-delà de traiter une maladie ou une personne. Ça va guider le patient, les familles, les proches, dans n'importe quelle direction que la vie peut nous apporter. Puis ça, c'est toutes des choses qui sont imprédictibles, mais qui peuvent être difficiles, comme qui peuvent être très positives chez d'autres. Puis maintenant, après réflexion, malgré le fait que c'est des années difficiles, j'apprécie le fait d'avoir eu l'opportunité d'avoir cette sensibilisation-là. Puis je pense que ça va faire de moi une personne qui va pouvoir plus voir les patients dans leur ensemble, donc dans leur entièreté, pouvoir mieux les comprendre, pouvoir mettre en place un plan d'action et des soins qui sont vraiment axés sur ce qu'il, elle ou elle désire. Donc tout ça a comme fait que c'est mon pourquoi la médecine. Puis je vous dirais que c'est des choses qui peuvent fluctuer, qui peuvent changer à chaque année selon les expériences qu'on vit. Mais je suis reconnaissant d'avoir l'opportunité de poursuivre mes études. Puis je suis aussi humble de l'opportunité que les personnes qui vont venir nous voir plus tard, c'est des personnes qui vont entre autres être vulnérables. Donc je pense que ma sensibilisation, mon niveau d'empathie, c'est quelque chose qui peut pas être pris pour acquis, puis nécessairement avec la technologie puis les différentes intelligences artificielles qui se développent, une chose qui va rester dans la médecine, c'est vraiment le contact humain. Puis je pense que j'ai hâte de pouvoir avoir cet impact-là, puis j'inspire un jour à voir l'impact que certains médecins ont eu sur moi, puis avoir cet impact positif-là à ma communauté. Donc, je suis prêt à donner une certaine partie de mon cœur à la profession, à mes futurs patients, dans le but d'assurer un bien-être collectif au Nouveau-Brunswick, un mieux-être général, une meilleure santé, avoir une meilleure prévention de maladies chroniques par le bien de bonnes habitudes de vie, l'activité physique. Donc tout ça fait en sorte que j'aimerais un jour pouvoir encadrer davantage de patients pour un mieux-être collectif. Donc je suis très reconnaissant aujourd'hui d'avoir eu cette opportunité. Je remercie encore une fois la Fondation pour le soutien financier. Et puis, on va travailler ensemble pour le bien-être de notre population.
Merci, Alexis. Ton parcours est très inspirant. Alexis mentioned a few things that I can't let go by. He talked about values. He talked about sentiment d'appartenance, belonging. I think one of our strengths here in New Brunswick is the fact that we're a small province. We're very human. We're tightly knitted. And we're just really good connectors and collaborators. So I would like now to have, we had the students stand, I would like to have the family members and friends and people from the community to please stand, because when things are going rough, when things are going really well and that we want to celebrate, or we have obstacles and we need support, these are the people that we can count on. So members from the community, family members and friends, please rise. And now let's give you a good round of applause. I could not have gotten through med school without my family, my friends, and my community. Nous sommes maintenant prêts à accueillir la deuxième moitié des récipiendaires de cette année pour un total additionnel de 800 000 en allègement de frais de scolarité. None of this work would be possible without our donors. Thank you again for supporting these incredible recipients. Would Dr. Simon please join me back on stage? And let's continue with the awards. The Pat Dara Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Milia Barbour, St. John. Province of New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Cynthia Légère Dieppe. Laurette Numa, oh, I'm really sorry if I, St. John. So how do we pronounce it? Wanuma, there we go. All right. Province of New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Malik Anan, Dieppe. Mansa Agbagu, St. John. The RBC Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Eliza Maxwell, Moncton, and Luke McDonald, Miramichi. The Regional Development Corporation Medical Education Scholarship, Adam Duguay, Tracadie. Amy Dodge, Moncton. The Robert R. McCain Memorial Education Scholarship, Danielle Deschamps, Upper Kingsclear. The St. John LNG Medical Education Scholarship, Neela Hussein, St. John. And Rachel Lewis, Rothsay. The Scotiabank and MD Financial Management Medical Education Scholarship, Mohamed Munir Benjilali, Bathurst. The Sir James Dunn Medical Bursary, Caitlin Gowlett, St. John. Mackenzie Moore, St. Andrews. Powell Moore, St. Andrews. And Reagan O'Leary, St. Andrews. We're going to have a crew from St. Andrews. Sisters of Charity of the Immaculate Conception Medical Education Bursary, Madison Harrington, Quispamsis. Steve's Family Medical Education Scholarship, Whitney Shannon, Miramichi. The Straight Shores Medical Education Scholarship, Shelby Easterbrooks, Riverview. Tantramar Medical Education Scholarship, Alexander Hack Polly, Riverview. TD Bank Medical Education Scholarship, Abdel Sliman, Moncton. The Future Physicians of Tantramar Medical Education Scholarship, Taylor Wilson, Dieppe. In 2023, the province of New Brunswick announced a $2.5 million contribution to the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. These funds were used to establish the New Brunswick Department of Health Scholarship, providing return to service scholarships for 67 students in 2025, totaling $540,000 in tuition fees. Will the team from the Department of Health please make their way to the donor corner to recognize these recipients? And I have to say, these people work day and night to make our healthcare system what it is. People from government, they're in the background, in the backstage, but they're just always there to support us and to make things happen. So the New Brunswick Department of Health Scholarship funds. Erin Noël Gallardo, Dieppe. Aïcha Blanchard, Bocaraquette. Alana Bonsac, Hanwell. Alexis Dubé, Dieppe. Amélie Cormier, Dieppe. Angela Levski, Tidehead. Anissa Belkaïd, Dieppe. Anna Miller, Sussex. Anna Michelle Alla, Néguac. Audrey Blanchard, Sainte-Marie-Saint-Raphaël. Benjamin Peterson, Grand Bay, Westfield. Bilal Khan, Miramichi. Brooke Lynn Richards, Miramichi. Caitlin Reardon, Puckshaw. Je pense qu'elle est là. Caitlin Harper, Rossay. Catherine Cormier, Dieppe. Chantal McLean, Rossay. Clément Degrasse, Chipagan. Damien Robichaud, Dieppe. David Leblanc, Dieppe. Drew Langille, Quispamsis. Eliane Carey, Pointe-Alexandre. Dis-moi de la péninsule là-bas, là. Emily Jarvis, Sackville. Emma Shaw, Rossay. Emma Vibert, Miscou. Erika Little, Moncton. Esther Yi, Rossay. Eva Brenda Bandeyera, Moncton. Eve Béliveau, Dieppe. Eve Chiasson, Bathurst. Eve Catherine Marquis, Dieppe. Fahad Vayani, Fredericton. Florence Lévesque, Dieppe. Gehai Jiang, Fredericton. Gabrielle Landry, Charlot. Haley Burns, Moncton. Hannah Isaac, Rothsay. Isabella Lemar, Dieppe. Jade Pitre, Dieppe. James Craig Paddle, Dieppe. Jayati Ray, St. John. Jeff Gresso, Moncton. Jenna Alquade, Moncton. On a encore plein, là. C'est le fun. Oui, oui, oui. Another round of applause. Josiane Comeau, Bathurst. Julie Gallian, Caraquette. Kiera Dolan, Rothsay. Kiha Kim, Moncton. Laurence Basque, Tracadie. Lilai Jin, Fredericton. Lindsay Kearney, Rothsay. Logan Grossman, Riverview. Madison Worth. Nawi Jawak. Marc Francis Paquette, Caraquette. Marissa Curie, Tracadie. Martin Andrew Whitman, Clarendon. Matt Douglas, Rothsay. Maude Couturier, Fredericton. Michael Conley, Rothsay. Minji Choi, Quispamsis. Natasha Vatcher, Oromocto. Sarah Eve Blanchard, Bathurst. Shannon Mayer, Fredericton. Shaughnessy Reardon, Pokeshaw. Simon Olivier Friolet, Caraquette. Sium Nur Mohamed Moïdine, St. John. Sufyan Faridi, Quispamsis. Véronique Duguay-Bathurst et Victoria Lutz Riverview. A big round of applause for our recipients. We'll just give them a few minutes to take the group picture, and then we'll move on to the final awards. Puis en même temps, j'en profite, le groupe du Centre de formation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick, à la fin, je vous inviterai à venir en avant. J'aimerais d'avoir le privilège d'avoir une petite photo avec vous autres aussi. All right, the last group, Tim Cameron Memorial Scholarship, Courtney Strugnell, Riverview. Town of Quispamsis Medical Education Scholarship, Soan Su, Quispamsis. Town of Riverview Medical Education Scholarship, Josiane Stadler, Shediac Bridge, puis Logan Grossman, Riverview. Town of Rothsay Medical Education Scholarship, Patrick Butler, Rothsay. And the Walter and Joan Flewelling Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Ellen Dao from St. John. Once again, congratulations to all the students. Les lauréats de ce soir forment un groupe extraordinaire, talentueux et bien accompli. When they apply to the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation each year, they share so much more than their resume or transcript. Ils partagent avec nous leur histoire de vie et leurs rêves. Let's celebrate these 166 students and the $1.4 million in scholarships awarded this evening with one more round of applause. And before we go to the next speaker, we have the community, we have the students, we have the family members, but I would really love to see the donors that are here this evening. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for your great generosity. The founders, the leaders, and the people that have been year in, year out, always present every single year. So would you please let us applaud you and stand for us, please. And I would even dare to say that behind each of those donors and each of those donations, there's a human story that inspired it. So thank you very much once again. Now, we'll hear from another one of our 2025 recipients. Please welcome to the stage our TD Bank representative who will present our next student speaker. Grace Lafferty will speak, and I think that, yes, please come up.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Zainab Satchu, and it's a pleasure to be here on behalf of TD Bank to celebrate the incredible work of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation and the students that represent the future of healthcare in our province. At TD, we believe in strong communities, and that strong communities are built by people who care. And no one embodies that more than our healthcare professionals. Your compassion, your commitment are what truly makes healthcare in New Brunswick exceptional. TD has had the privilege of supporting healthcare professionals for many years, from medical students to established practitioners, whether it's student banking, flexible lending, or guidance as you build out your practice. Our goal is to be your trusted partner through every stage of your journey. We're proud to support this foundation and its mission to keep exceptional physicians right here in New Brunswick, because investing in students means investing in the health of our communities. And speaking of exceptional students, it's my pleasure to introduce Grace Lafferty, a second-year medical student at Dalhousie Medicine in New Brunswick, originally from Moncton. Grace holds a Bachelor of Health Sciences from Queen's University, and she hopes to pursue a residency in family or emergency medicine. She's an active volunteer and a passionate advocate for patient-centered care, someone who truly reflects the values we celebrate tonight. Please join me in welcoming Grace Lafferty.
Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege to stand here tonight, not just as a medical student, but as someone whose journey to healthcare began long before I ever picked up a stethoscope. When asked the age-old question, why do you want to be a doctor? There isn't one defining moment in my life that answers this completely. It's a constellation of experiences that have led me down this path. One significant moment was when I was 8, attending a gala much like this for the Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation. My parents shared the story of my younger brother's time in the neonatal intensive care unit. My mom's voice shaked as she described the support of the nurses, the doctors who explained everything with care, and the allied health professionals who gave my brother every chance to survive. My dad said that they weren't just treating an infant, they were caring for my whole family. My brother is now a healthy 20-year-old, but even today my family still talks about these providers with admiration. Their compassion, their skill, and their ability to make my parents feel seen and supported has left a mark on us all. And that moment planted a seed in me, not just that I wanted to become a physician, but I wanted to become that kind of physician, one who leads with empathy, one who listens, and one who understands that healing isn't just physical, it's emotional, relational, and deeply human. Throughout my adolescence, this seed began to grow. I began my undergraduate degree and started to learn more about human physiology, how the human body works, how things can go wrong, and how we can intervene. After completing my first year at DMNB, I could not be more confident that this was the right path for me. Now, one thing I've noticed is since starting school, pretty much everywhere you go, people want to know if you're going to stay in New Brunswick. and that doesn't matter if it's your friends or your family or even a stranger that catches a glimpse of your medicine logo in the grocery store. Everyone wants to know if you're going to stay. And I have to laugh because it's so obvious to me now that I'm going to, but it wasn't always this way. After high school, I moved to Ontario to study at Queen's. And in my grade 12 year, you couldn't talk me out of leaving our province. My parents are sitting over there if you want to ask them. I was completely determined to go somewhere bigger and somewhere I thought was quote unquote better. And as cheesy as it sounds, it was only in leaving that I realized exactly what I had left behind, our sense of community, the people, and my true home. Throughout this past year, I've heard countless stories from patients who have experienced a lack of access to timely healthcare services, including long wait times for primary healthcare and long distances traveled for diagnostic testing. These firsthand remarks have made the issue of New Brunswick healthcare access feel personal. To me, this is no longer a political debate or a statistic. These are real people in our community that are falling through the cracks. And I'm more motivated than ever to be involved in tangible change. Of course, none of this would be possible without the support of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation and the Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation. I could go on forever and talk about the financial strain that's put on medical students and how it impacts me. So not only does this scholarship help lift some of the burden, but it has given me something much more powerful. And that's a reminder that I have a community rallying behind me and investing in my future. So thank you. Thank you to the foundation, to everyone in this room, and to the patients and families that continue to inspire me. I'm proud to be a part of the next generation of healthcare providers, and I'm proud to serve New Brunswick. Thank you very much.
It all starts with a human story. I'm a pediatrician. It all starts with babies. Thank you very much, Grace, for that inspiring talk and also just bringing that human side of it all starts with a story and one little seed. So we never know what the seed is going to grow into. Now, please help me in welcoming Alyssa Long, our Executive Director, to deliver the evening's closing remarks. Alyssa is a new mom, so you also have to kiss your little baby when you get home and thank your little baby for sharing you with us in these precious moments of their life as well. So please help me in welcoming Alyssa to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir. It is such a pleasure and a privilege to be here. As Dr. LeBlanc said, I do have a 3-month-old at home. So last year I had so many compliments because I delivered this speech without notes, and I'm now very sleep deprived. So I have a few notes. I have 3 questions I've written down, and I would like to talk about those 3 questions now. The first is, what are we celebrating tonight? And the most obvious answer is the medical students and the nurse practitioner students who are in this room tonight, who are going to be the future healthcare providers for New Brunswick patients, who are going to help us address some of the biggest challenges we face. And I have so much admiration for the work you're doing, not only the courses and the stresses and the pressures you're taking on today, but for the service and dedication you will provide in careers for decades to come. That is incredible. The work you're doing is incredible. And we're also celebrating the realization of a dream. We heard earlier about Dr. Donald Craig and his vision to create the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. And I'll share a little bit about how that dream came to be. So much like Dr. Simon, who spoke about his decades in practice and what would happen when he retired, Dr. Donald Craig, back in 2010, had a very similar fear. What would happen when he left practice? What would happen to those patients? And some of you may have heard this story, but please bear with me. But at the time, Dr. Craig thought, what if instead of allocating all of these resources, all of our resources, to bringing physicians to New Brunswick from out of province, what if we took some of those resources and reallocated them to our students, to empowering the next generation of New Brunswick physicians to live and work and establish their careers in New Brunswick? And that's how we were created. And it was an incredible thing. And in that first year, in 2010, this foundation was able to award 3 scholarships, totaling $20,000 in tuition relief. Tonight, we are awarding $1.4 million to 166 students through 176 awards. Since 2010, we have awarded 900 scholarships. How incredible is that? So we often hear the expression on the shoulders of giants. In our foundation, we get to stay on the shoulder of one giant, one incredible giant who, though he couldn't be here tonight, I believe he is watching us right now through the live stream. So if we could, please give a hand to Dr. Donald Craig. Thank you. And the final thing that we're celebrating tonight is what you might have seen on our annual report, we've called that reshaping physician recruitment. And it's not because the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation is responsible for reshaping physician recruitment or innovation, but we want to celebrate that sense of innovation and creativity that allows us to find solutions to problems in a proactive, innovative way that are going to make a difference, that are evidence-based, that we can learn from, and that we can scale what works. So I'm really pleased to say, have found one of those solutions. It's part of the vast ecosystem of solutions that are going to help make our province a better place and help us address some of the greatest challenges. My second question that I wrote down is, what makes this possible? First of all, back to you students. Without you, we would not be inspired to do the work we're doing. Every time that you submit a scholarship application, we get to read it and we get to hear the myriad of stories and experiences and perspectives and dreams and goals that you bring to the table. It's incredible. It's one of the greatest highlights of the year is when Natalie and I get to go through those applications and meet you and see who you are. And for those in the room who haven't had that chance, I'll share a few tidbits, which is that our recipients this year come from 43 different New Brunswick hometowns. They're from all over and represent almost every single New Brunswick community. 60% are bilingual and will be able to interact with patients in their language of choice. Isn't that amazing? 45% of our recipients this year are from historically marginalized groups. And over 50 of the students we support are attending Francophone language medical programs as well. So we see students who literally have almost every background we could imagine. And I'm very pleased to say that while we supported 1 future nurse practitioner last year, that number has grown to 7 this year. So we're seeing enormous growth, and we have as well added 1 pharmacist scholarship so far for next year as well. So that list is going to continue to grow, and our goal as a foundation is to enhance access to primary care. So we are going to continue to do that and to grow. The second group that makes this possible is the donors. We've said it time and time again, the donors, the people who allow these scholarships to be possible, are the lifeblood of our foundation. Without you, we wouldn't be able to invest in our future. And it's incredible that every donor in this room, everybody here in this room, we share a collective vision where every New Brunswicker can access the healthcare services they need when they need them most. And we're all collectively working to make that a reality. Isn't that amazing? And then the final group I want to acknowledge is, of course, our staff, our board, and the partners in the healthcare recruitment ecosystem that make this work. Tonight we have Natalie Boyce, David Ryan here, who are my 2 colleagues in the office of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. You've already met our board members. But what's really interesting, too, is we have members tonight from the Department of Health, who you would have seen Jen up here. We have representatives from both regional health authorities, Horizon and Vitalite, here. We have representatives from both medical schools in New Brunswick here tonight. That level of collaboration, that level of partnership and dialogue, that helps us ensure that for the students, you have the smoothest possible transition into employment here in New Brunswick. And that takes a lot of work, and we're trying to get better at it, and I promise you we will, because it matters. Ensuring that you feel welcomed and valued and everything else, that you have a place, a safe and wonderful, fulfilling career to come to, that matters to us. So my commitment to you students is that we're going to make that happen. And then my third question that I wrote down is, where do we go from here? We've talked about a record year, $1.4 million in tuition relief. That was something I dreamed of 3 years ago. But the fact is we were able to support 80% of applications this year, of eligible qualified applications. That's amazing. That makes us one of the biggest scholarship programs in Canada. And if you apply to our foundation, you have an 8 in 10 chance of getting an award. That's incredible. But wouldn't it be amazing if we could fund 100% of eligible applications? And that, along with David Ryan, our fundraising manager, that's what we're going to try to accomplish. And we've made great strides, and we're going to continue making great strides because we all recognize the need is dire. We all have a stake in healthcare in New Brunswick, personal, professional, and as a citizen. And once we close that gap, we know we'll be able to help with other challenges in the province as well. I don't know if you've seen, but the province published a new healthcare plan last week. And in that plan, 2 of the core challenges in healthcare were identified as workforce development and primary care. Together, this model is addressing both those challenges, and we're going to continue working to continue to find new ways to help and make an even greater difference. We, as a foundation, are more than a scholarship program. Scholarships are the most important thing. They are always going to be the priority, so students, we are always going to have your back. But we also know that we have roles to play in helping succession planning and helping to ensure that the communities where you're going know you're coming and know that it matters, that you feel welcome and valued. So with that, I just wanted to say congratulations again to all of you. It is such a pleasure to see faces. So many of you I've seen on screens or through your applications, and I've been able to put faces to names tonight in a way that is so wonderful. And I can't wait until after our reception and I can see and hear from you more. So with that, thank you so much. Congratulations to our live stream audience. Thank you as well for attending. Good night.
Thank you, Alyssa. I'm sure everybody's saying, if that was lack of sleep in 3 questions, I can't imagine what she would do with more sleep. Yeah. So thank you very much. And congratulations again to all of our recipients, and thank you to our audience members here and the ones that are attending virtually for your time and attention to this evening. Félicitations, félicitations, félicitations. Again, the sponsors of tonight's celebrations are DP World, AstraZeneca, TD Bank, Acadia Broadcasting, Envision St. John, Wells Private Wealth Management, Stuart McKelvey, and Emerge. In addition, we have enjoyed a beautiful venue and food, courtesy of Delta Hotel St. John, AV and live streaming support by Encore, photography by James Walsh, decorations provided by Spur. De nombreuses personnes ont contribué à la planification et à la réalisation de cet événement. Nous espérons que vous vous joindrez à nous l'année prochaine et que vous partagerez votre expérience avec vos amis, vos familles et vos collègues. Before we conclude the live stream and make our way to the mezzanine for a little dessert reception, which is always very lovely, we have a surprise performance to close our evening. Tonight, we would like to welcome the Interaction School of Performing Arts Advanced Performance Company for a special preview of an upcoming show. Members of the Encore team will be coming shortly to move the podium, and there will be a quick 5-minute break to prepare the stage. Don't go anywhere, so you want to see this. Before I lose my mic, please allow me to share a bit about this troupe. Based in St. John, Interaction is more than a place to learn music, dance, and theater. It's a sanctuary where young people aged 4 to 18 discover their voices, build confidence, and form lasting relationships. Au cours des 25 dernières années, Interaction est devenue une communauté dynamique qui met de l'avant la créativité et l'apprentissage collaboratif. Elle façonne la prochaine génération de penseurs et de leaders créatifs. Alumni of Interaction don't just become performers. They become teachers, entrepreneurs, therapists, doctors, and change makers. The skills they've learned, collaboration, empathy, resilience, and public speaking are transferable and transformative. The Advanced Performance Company is Interaction's highest level program for dedicated performers looking to be part of a full-scale musical production. Members rehearse multiple times weekly, receiving top-tier training in acting, singing, and dancing from experienced instructors. Together, they prepare a full-length show and grow as an ensemble. Matilda is the full-length show that they are working on, and tonight they bring us a sneak peek of that performance. After the performance, we will announce the departure of Her Honor, the Lieutenant-Gouverneur. Then you are welcome to make your way out of the ballroom to the dessert reception. To those joining us online, we will continue to broadcast until the performance is complete. Merci. Bonsoir. That was amazing. Can't wait to go see the play. Congratulations. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. And give full to the foundation. All right. So, guests, would you please rise once again for the departure of l'Honorable Louise Imbeau, Lieutenant-Gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Once again, we are so disciplined. Now enjoy your desserts.